Hey everybody, how's it going? Today we're going to be going over and showing you how to install the eTrailer trailer hitch receiver here on our 2015 Ford Transit T150. So this is what our trailer hitch is going to look like installed on our Transit. As you can see here, it's pretty tucked back behind the bumper so you don't have to worry about hitting your shins on it, and it's sort of out of sight and out of mind. Now what we can see has that nice matte black powder coated finish, which really helps it blend in with the underside of the vehicle well. It's also going to help protect the hitch from rust and corrosion over time as well. So adding a trailer hitch to your Transit is going to be an excellent option because it's going to make your vehicle that much more versatile. Now we can obviously use the trailer hitch for towing, but if we wanted to hit the trails or free up some space inside the vehicle, we could easily attach either a hitch mounted bike rack or cargo basket. So in regards to towing, our trailer hitch here is going to provide us with a 6,000 pound gross trailer weight rating. That's the amount we can pull outward on the receiver tube. And it also has a 900 pound tongue weight rating. That's going to be the downward force on the receiver tube. Now we can also use this trailer hitch with the weight distribution system to increase our capacities. But keep in mind, we are still going to be limited by the vehicle if it's lower than the hitch, because the hitch and vehicle are actually tested separately of one another. Therefore, it's a good idea to verify the vehicle's towing capacity in your owner's manual. Now the trailer hitch does have a 2" by 2" receiver tube opening, so this is really going to expand your selection of those hitch mounted accessories such as bike racks and cargo carriers. The majority of those are designed for 2" receivers, therefore you're going to have plenty of options to choose from. So on the side of the receiver tube, we're going to have a 5/8" diameter hitch pin hole that's going to accept our 5/8" diameter hitch pin and clip. Keep in mind, these actually don't come with a hitch, but the reason for that is a lot of your bike racks and cargo carriers, even ball mounts in most cases, come with their own hitch pin and clip. And then welded to the bottom of the receiver tube, we have our safety chain loops. Those work great with both the larger clevis style hooks as well as the smaller S-type. So a couple measurements for you guys here. The first one is the distance from the ground to the top inside edge of the receiver tube. It's going to be right at 13 inches, and that'll be useful when you're selecting a ball mount. That way you can make sure you get the correct rise and drop to tow your trailer level. And then we have the distance from the center of the hitch pin hole to the outside edge of the bumper. And that one there is going to be about 4.5 inches. And that'll be useful when you're selecting your folding accessories. That way you can make sure that while they're in the folded up position, they don't contact the vehicle. So in regards to installation, this is something you can do by yourself at home. You don't need a lift, and you really don't need a lot of different tools. There is one tool you may not have, and that's a torque wrench. You can actually rent these for free in most cases from local auto parts stores. Now, I will say that we do have to thread some holes underneath the vehicle there, and that can be kind of tricky for some of you guys, but as long as you take your time and follow along with our video, you should be able to get it done. So the first step of our installation, we're going to be coming underneath the vehicle here. Now it doesn't matter which side we start on, but we do need to do this on both sides. If we look on this frame rail here, this bumper channel support, whatever you want to call it, we're going to have 2 holes in the center here. So we need to go ahead and clean these out. So I'm just going to spray some spray lubricant in there. I'm going to take a wire brush there. I'm going to run that through there. Try to get all that dirt and debris out as best we can. And once we get these cleaned out, we actually need to thread these because these are how we're going to attach our hitch. So we have a couple different options for threading. You can use these self-tapping bolts that come in your kit. They look like this. Just going to take a 15mm socket. We're going to begin slowly turning these into the frame here to form the threads. You do, however, want to make sure that that bolt is as level as possible or as straight as possible going into the frame. You don't want to thread them crooked going one way or the other. So you just want to make sure it's nice and even. Or we can pick up a thread tap kit along with your purchase of the trailer hitch. We carry these here at eTrailer. You're going to need a thread tap. It's a metric 12 by 1 3/4. We can use that to thread them as well. These are a little bit easier to use. So I do recommend picking this up, but you can still do it with the components that come with your kit. So the key to getting this right is really going to be pressure. We don't want to use an impact for this. We do need to use just a normal ratchet. But we're just going to keep continuous upward pressure there to start forming the threads. These are actually pretty dirty. There's a lot of gunk coming out, so I think I'm going to go back and clean these a little bit further. But once I get them both threaded, I'm again going to clean them out really well with some lubricant and our wire brush. And then we'll just test fit our hardware here, those self-threading bolts, just to make sure it threads in. There we go, looks pretty good. So now we're just going to repeat that same steps, those same few steps over on the other side of the vehicle. So the next thing we need to do is we're going to take the spacer block and the carriage bolt that come in your kit. Now if you want, you can use the fish wire, but I can actually reach into that rearward hole here, which is where we're going to be installing that. So I don't really think we're going to be able to have to use that. So I'm just going to go ahead and place the carriage bolt through the spacer block. I'm just going to slide it up into the frame and line up the hole there, just like that. So we need to do that on both sides. Now with an extra set of hands, we can go ahead and raise our hitch into position here. You want to be careful not to push the carriage bolt back up into the frame. Just go ahead and use your nut to secure the carriage bolt first, and then we can worry about getting our other two holes threaded in. Now we're going to tighten and torque all of our hardware to the specifications or instructions. These self-threading bolts here are going to use a 15mm socket. And that's going to do it today for our look and installation of the eTrailer trailer hitch receiver here on our 2015 Ford Transit T150.